Hey, my name is Christopher Smith, and I'm a trucking accident attorney in Knoxville, Tennessee. And today we're going to talk about 4 things you need to know if you've been in a trucking accident in or around the Knoxville area. The first thing you need to know is that Tennessee has a 1-year statute of limitations, which is among the shortest in the whole country. A statute of limitations is basically the deadline that you have to bring your claim or your lawsuit. And it's 1 year from the date of your injury. So you may be thinking about other things. You may be recovering from your injuries. You may be missing work and focused on those more pressing matters. And a lawsuit may not be top of mind. But in Tennessee, you only have that 1 year. So just know that. Number 2 is to know the insurance limits of the trucking company. And you're probably not going to be able to figure this out until you hire a lawyer, but that's something your lawyer is going to be looking at. I've done a whole video on trucking insurance limits, which I will link to. Generally, there's at least $750,000 of insurance coverage. There could be much more than that. It's going to depend on what the truck was doing, what it was hauling, that sort of thing. So watch that video for more info on that. Number 3 is to know your own insurance limits. Now, you may not know your own bodily injury coverage or your underinsured motorist coverage, but those are important things to know in a trucking lawsuit, because what you're going to want to know is how much coverage do you have in addition to the coverage of the trucking company, and how do those things relate to each other? Often we're looking at, can we combine those numbers, the trucking and limits, with your own limits to increase your potential recovery? And that brings up another thing, which is it's important to know what state your insurance policy was entered into. You may have recently moved to the Tennessee area, and so you're coming from a different location where you had previous insurance. So those are issues that we might flag in your case to try to figure out a way if we can combine your limits with the trucking company's limits. Number 4 could have been number 1, but it's just something very important, which is to document everything. And I do mean everything. If you're watching this video from a hospital bed, which I hope is not the case, but take pictures. Your injuries, the crash scene, your recovery process after you leave the hospital, everything. The pain and suffering that goes into that is hugely important. Any sort of lost wages that you have, you want to document that. Anything that you buy at the store, whether it's Tylenol or an ice pack, document all of your out-of-pocket expenses. It's easy enough to do all this in the age of smartphones. You can just take pictures of things, but that's something that's very important, and it can be really powerful to document that recovery process. Even if it's just a minor injury, it could really affect your life and make your daily sort of obligations and duties really hard to perform. So the more that you can show that happened, the more that you can potentially recover. So I hope this video has been helpful. 4 things you need to know if you've been in a trucking accident, really anywhere in Tennessee. Comment down below if you've got any specific questions. Thanks so much for watching.